Now all the four ports are running. We want to have certain useful information about web server which might be useful later on. So what we will do, kubectl execute it web server. That means we want to enter into that port in interactive mode. So there we are going to go into this directory cd user share nginx html. So when we are running this command, it takes us there, and when we are going to run this command ls, what it is showing? It is showing two files, 50x html, index.html. Please remember, whenever we are talking about any web server, whether it is Apache web server or Nginx server, they contains one default page, and the name of that first file is index.html. So if we are going to view this file cat index, because this is one large file, so head -4, that means we just want to display the top 4 lines. So what it is showing? It is showing doc type html head and welcome to nginx. This is the title name. That is why when we were assessing that those pages, it was showing this page, default page. Later on, what we can do, we can change these type of, or we can create our images also, that please do not display this message, display some other message, and on which port it is listening, because that is very important. When we were creating the YAML file, we did not specify any container port on which it is going to listen. So even if you are not going to specify container port, on which port is it listening, that can be determined by using this command netstate -taupn. These are the different options that can be used. Now what it is showing, active internet connection. Now here it is important, local address. On which address it is listening? 00 meaning it is going to listen all the IP addresses that have been configured on that port. And on which port is it listening? 80. So state is listening. That means by default, when we are creating a port on based of a web server, Nginx or Apache, by default it is listening on some port. Now we are going to exit. These informations are going to be useful later on also, especially this one. Now we want to delete all ports. So in port directory, if you are going to say ls, it is showing all the four definitions that we created of all the ports. Now when we are going to run this command kubectl get ports, it is showing that all the four ports are running. So how you can delete? So kubectl delete port basic, then we are specifying delete the simple port. There are two methods of deleting the port. That means we can run this command kubectl delete port, delete this port, kubectl delete port, the name of the port, or we can specify the file name also from which we created the port. So we are deleting this curl port by using the definition kubectl delete -f. First we were using the create, that means create the port according to this definition. Now we are saying read the information about the port from this file and delete that port. And finally we are deleting that web server port also. That means there are two methods. One this method, one is by specifying the file name, YAML file name, then the port will get deleted. Now when we are going to run this command kubectl get ports, what will happen? No resources found in default. That means we were successful in deleting all the ports. That means this way we can create the port, we can assess the port, we can delete the port. That is how we manage those port. Now what we want to create port using CLI, command line interface, although it is not recommended. Now creating ports using CLI without specifying YAML file, as such not recommended method, but still we are going to go ahead with creating 4 different ports using 4 different images, as we did with YAML files. Now 4 type of objects can be created by using command line. The objects are pod, deployment, jobs and cron jobs. Most of these we will be handling one by one. That means the options that we are going to specify during pod creation using CLI, it will decide whether pod will get created, deployment will get created, jobs will get created, or cron job. Now we are going to look at how to create the first pod by using command line that we are going to see now.